Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Stamp and Chat Live. I am Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all over the United States and all around the world. Tonight, I'm going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to have a little bit of fun, you and me. We're going to have some fun with foil. Now, foil is one of those things that either you love foil and you use it in every different way that you can, or you're a little bit afraid of it. Maybe you've even purchased some of the ThermoWeb products, but you have them neatly tucked away because you're afraid to open them and you just think, oh, I don't want to mess it up, so I'll just leave it over there. Well, tonight we're going to make you go get it because we're going to have some fun with the brand new Deco-Foil Adhesive Sheets. And I'm going to show you a really fun way to use the negative piece without a laminator. So no heat tonight, no laminator in tonight's live, no hot foil machines, no nothing. We're just going to go with the adhesive sheets and our plain old die cutting machine. So I think tonight is going to be a lot of fun. And before we get things going, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Are you the laminator terminator?
I am not. Is that the word of the day? The laminator terminator?
So many words of the day.
No, I am. I love my laminator and I love all the hot foil stuff, but not everybody has the machines and they want to get in on the action with foil too. So tonight is all about, all inclusive.
That sounds great.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Doing great.
Good, good. Well, it's great to see you. I did want to take a minute to send our thoughts and prayers out to everyone in Texas who is dealing with that mass shooting today. That was a horrible thing. And we know that there are a lot of people in pain tonight. And I'm sure, I've been looking at all of your comments before we went live, and so many of you are talking about it. So our thoughts and prayers with all of those families. It's not a good thing. It's so sad. And so tonight we're going to just try to just put that aside for a little while, because that's what we were doing all through COVID. We were putting it aside for a little while and just taking an hour to just free our minds from everything that's going on in the outside world and give yourself a mental break, because you have to do that once in a while or else you'll go crazy, right? So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to give ourselves an hour mental break and do a little bit of fun paper crafting. All right, let me show you what I'm going to be using here. So let's go to the overhead. So I don't know if you guys saw these, but these came out a little while ago. I'm going to back out here. I need my zoom out. There we go. Okay, so these came out a couple of months ago, and these are the Deco-Foil Adhesive Transfers. Now, these are the Gina K ones. They also have some on the ThermoWeb website by Unity Stamp Company. But I'm going to be using the Gina K ones. These are the ones that I designed for ThermoWeb, and I'm really excited about all of the different designs. There is the Love Is, which is great for love and friendship. Just simple things like may your day be filled with magic. That is perfect for somebody who's celebrating a birthday, So you can use these for lots of different things. Our friendship isn't a big thing. It's a million little things. But you can also save some of these for Valentine's Day or anytime you want to send a card of encouragement and love. Then we have the Follow Your Dreams. Now, this one is great. We've got a lot of upcoming graduations, right? And so this one is really fun for, follow your dream with the little butterfly and the dragonfly and this little hummingbird, wishing you peace. That's really nice for so many different things right now, right? With the lotus flower. Then it's got some little heart accents. And I like to use these little pieces, the little bits and pieces and hearts to decorate the envelope, because you could put foil on your envelope using this same exact technique. Okay, and you give me wings. Hello, friend. And then this is the one I thought I would use tonight. This is the Birthday Bliss. And I think foiled birthday cards are always so much fun. And all of these designs can be used to make cards for anybody, men, women, kids, grandparents, anybody. It's birthday cakes, it's balloons, it's candles, banners, stars. So this works for everybody. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the big candle design, and I'm going to use the Enjoy Your Day. And then I'm going to show you how to get 2 cards out of 1. So there is a little trick I want to show you tonight for using the negative piece. All right, so let me show you. This is not the actual size here, but they're actually quite large. Here's the actual size, and you can see that next to a card base. This is an A2 size card base. So these are nice, big, bold images and super fun to use. So let me put these aside, and I thought about using some twinkling pink. I love this pink foil. Let me get it out of this pocket here just so that you can see how pretty it is. Isn't this foil just gorgeous? This twinkling pink. Yes, I love pink, but I've been doing so many pink cards with our ephemera. Plus, I'm making some generic birthday cards because I do have 2 birthdays coming up at the end of the month, and they're guys. So I thought maybe instead of that, I would go with some glimmering gold. And I love this. And I was running out of it, but we got some back in. So I'm going to take a piece of this glimmering gold out of here. Now, one thing that I would suggest that you do whenever you're working with foil, any kind of foil, whether it's hot foil, whether it's the laminator, whether it's anything. Let me just pull some of these out so I can use them and put the rest back. Now, normally what I do, and let me just make a couple little suggestions here for you guys with foil and with storage. Okay, one thing that I usually do is I open my pack of foil and then I just cut the tape off the bottom. All right, this part here, because this always gets stuck on the foil. You can still fold it back over if you want, and the foil is not going to come out. But then as you pull the foil out, you saw it getting stuck to the tape. So that's one little tip. Now, another thing that I like to do, and because I don't make my cards, I never make a card front the same exact size as the A2 card. I always make my cards, I always do the panels, right? So, oh, somebody cuts the top off. That's Mary Kay. That's a great idea. That's great too. What I'm going to do here is, this is, let's see, how big is this? This is 7 inches, right? No, it's 8 inches, 6 by 8. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a couple sheets here. I'm going to just use my little paper cutter, and I'm going to cut 2 of them. And I'm going to go to the 4-inch mark. Hope this works. I usually use like a straight blade, and I'm just going to cut those, all right? So then I generally cut my whole pack down into half sheets. And then let me show you what I use. I got to find my little thing, so give me a second here. Here it is. So I use a stamp pocket, and I know we've been out of those stupid stamp pockets forever, but we have more coming. I just don't know when. It's a supply chain issue because of the plastic. But what I do is it's great because you could save all your little pieces for projects that you were doing. I was making a project where I needed a big piece. So these are my extras. These are great for all of the little designs, the banners, things like that. You can trim those down. But then I store my foil in a stamp pocket. So let's try to get this in here. I just put it all in, and I keep the little insert. So it says Glimmering Gold. And what I normally do is I take this out, I put all my foil back into the insert like that, and then I slip it back into the stamp pocket. And this is the large stamp pocket. We'll just leave that one in there. So this is the one that works with large stamp sets. And then I just put a label on it, what it is. And that's a way to just have your foil ready to grab and go. So we're going to use this tonight, Glimmering Gold, and we're going to use this candle image. We'll probably use Enjoy Your Day too, but let's figure that out later. So let's start with the candle image. Now, what you're going to do with these is you want a nice sharp pair of scissors, And you're just going to cut. You get 2 sheets, by the way. I should have said that in each pack. You get 2 sheets of these. So if you use the negative pieces, it's actually like getting 4 sheets. You're going to make, 2 cards for every design. So they're a great value. And I love these because it doesn't require dies. It doesn't require a laminator. You could take these with you on a crafting weekend. All you need to have is your die cutting machine. Marlene, the label maker that I use is this one. I'll show you real quick. It's this one right here. Comes in this little thing. It's a Brother P-Touch, and it's got a little keyboard like that, and you plug it in. This is the one I use. I got mine on Amazon. So I love it. I label everything. Okay. So now you're going to take a nice sharp pair of scissors, and you want to cut around the design. Okay. Going to give myself a little bit of extra plastic around there, but I don't want to cut too close to the next design. Okay, so there we go. We're going to use this image. And then I think I'm going to do Enjoy Your Day. So I'll cut that one out just in case. There we go. Just remember, a nice sharp pair of scissors. And you can get close to the next design if you want to, but I like to have a little bit of extra on the outside. Okay. Something to grab onto. So you don't want to get too close because you want to be able to grab onto the plastic once you open up, you peel off the back. Okay. All right. So now let's see here. I want to get a piece of Glimmering Gold out and ready to use. Donna has label maker envy. My label maker was bigger than yours. That's funny. Okay, now for my trick, you want to make sure you use a bigger piece of foil. That's important. You don't want to use a tiny little piece of foil for my trick for using both the negative and the positive because, well, you'll see in a little bit. So I'm going to use a half sheet of foil here. I'm not going to use the whole thing, but I'll probably use half of the half, if that makes sense. And what I want to do is I want to cut this out ultimately with some ovals dies. So I just want to make sure that my oval is going to fit here, and it certainly will. That's good to know. I want to use the middle oval. But you can do this any way you want. You can do it with a paper cutter. You can do it with rectangle dies. You can do it with anything that you have in your collection. All right, and we're going to cut this piece of foil in half. Okay, I'm going to put this piece over here. Let me make sure that's still going to work with that die. And it is. All right, that looks good. Okay, so now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to figure out what we want for our first card, where we're going to actually use the adhesive part of this adhesive sheet. So I think I'm going to use a piece of white cardstock. So I'm going to cut that down to a 1/4 sheet here. And I think I can cut that maybe a little bit smaller. Yeah, because we're gonna cut it out with the oval. Okay, and I'm gonna check that again and make sure that that works. Yeah, that will be fine. Okie dokie. So now, whenever you're working with foil, you do want to make sure you don't have like embossing powder all over your work surface. So make sure you have your work surface cleaned. I like to use a Swiffer duster, something like that, to clean my work area. And I'm just going to put this piece of craft cardstock in here because I think it shows up better. All right. So now what we're going to do to start is we're going to peel off the backing of this. So the backing is thinner than the front piece, and you'll be able to feel the difference between the two. The front acetate is thick. The back piece is very thin, and we're going to peel that off, being careful not to touch the design itself because that's actually adhesive. All right. So now I'm just going to grab it by the corners, and I'm going to place it in the center of my piece of cardstock. just like that. All right. Now I'm just going to tap it down lightly, just rub over it so it stays in place. And then I'm going to get my die cutting machine. Now I'm using my Spellbinders machine. These will work with any die cutting machine. Whatever setting you use on your die cutting machine to cut wafer thin dies, whatever that is, whatever that looks like for you. So if you're using a Spellbinders machine, you're using a Big Shot, you're using a Gemini, just whatever plates you would normally use for regular die cutting. So I have on my Spellbinders machine, I have this platform, and then I have one clear plate, and then I'm going to place my design on there. And then this is a little trick that's good to do. I'm going to cut just a quarter sheet of cardstock here that I'll use for my projects today. I'm sure y'all have one that you can use. And I'm going to place it on top. And the reason I'm going to place it on top is because look at my plate. It is a disaster. It's a little warped. It's got all kinds of cut lines in it. And I don't want those lines to transfer into this design. So to prevent that, all I'm going to do is just put a piece of cardstock over it. And it also thickens up the sandwich just a little bit. Okay, so if your plate is a little bent, it's a little curved like mine is, it kind of curves this way. I'm going to use it so that it's, let me see how I can do this with my hands, so that it's curving up, so that it's kind of, you know, like a smile going up like that. Okay. So the curved side down, just because I want a little bit more pressure. And if it's curved, it's not going to touch where my paper is. Okay. So now I'm going to just run that through. Yeah, you can use junk mail. That's a perfect thing to use as a shim. Okay. It goes through really easy. It actually makes me a little nervous because it never feels like it's got a lot of pressure on it, but it works. All right, so now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to peel up this part right here. Okay, I'm just going to gently peel that up. And I'm keeping this part because I'm going to be using this part again. Now I'm going to lay this down, and then I'm going to lay my foil. This is the sticky side. I'm going to lay my foil right over it in the center, like that. And then I'm just going to pat it down to have it make contact with the adhesive so it doesn't slide around. Now I'm going to put this piece of cardstock back on there. Yeah, it's a great use for junk mail. I actually might put one more piece of cardstock on here just for good measure. So 2 pieces of junk mail. And then I'm going to run it through again with the foil on there. Oh, I don't know why our website is down. It's possible that our IT department is doing an update. Sometimes those updates come out of nowhere and they're like an emergency update, so they'll just do them. Okay, so now I'm going to peel away the gold foil. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the shine you get from that. Isn't that amazing? And no laminator, right? No heat at all. Okay. So I'm going to keep this piece for another card. I'm going to keep this piece for another card. So keep these pieces and we're just going to put them aside. And now we're going to cut this out with that oval die. Now you can, let me find it here. You can cut these out, the ovals, beforehand if you want. And maybe I should have done that. We'll see. I'm going to put a little lightweight piece of cardstock on top just to protect my design. And then I'm going to cut this out. I'm not even going to use, I'm not worried about the curve on this because this is layering weight white, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's pretty light cardstock, but I just wanted to protect the design. Okay, so there we go. We have our beautiful foiled candles there. Aren't they pretty? Oh, love them. All right, and then I'm going to And what's nice about this is there's no black that shows, right? Because that's adhesive, so there's no spots that are missing. So even if something was missing, which it's not, but if it was, you wouldn't even see it. Okay, so now I'm going to take a piece of black cardstock and I'm going to cut out the other oval, the coordinating oval. I use this double stitched one. I'm going to use the single stitched one. I'll cut it out of the middle because then we can use this piece again. This is so much fun. It really is a lot of fun. Okie dokie. Now I'm going to layer these two together to get that little bit of foil there. Okay. And then I'm going to layer those together with some tape. Can use the toner sheets more than once. The toner sheets. So no, once the adhesive comes off, it's off and it's not there anymore. So you can't make another one. But I'm going to show you how to use that negative piece that we peeled off. So, all right, now let's figure out what we want to do for a card base. So do we want to do red with gold? Or do we want to do blue? So I'm I kind of like the blue with the gold. Isn't that nice? I like that. Should we do the blue with the gold? Yeah, let's do the blue with the gold. Okay, so I'm going to show you another little trick here. Hopefully all my tricks work tonight. Because, you know, I just kind of figure out what I'm going to work with, but I never really try much beforehand, which is always so scary. All right, I'm going to cut this down to, let me see how big this is first. I need to measure this. I'm going to just measure it quick on my, okay, that's plenty big enough. I'm going to cut a piece of cardstock down to 3.5 by 4 3/4. So this would also be okay to cut out using master layouts too, if you wanted to. So I'm going to just lay out my design here to see how it looks. So let me adhere these two together. I'm not going to put the die cutting machine. Yeah, purple and gold would look great too. It's kind of hard to find a color that doesn't look good with gold. I mean, really. You know what else? Plum punch would look so good. Plum and gold. All right, so I'm just sticking these two together. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I kind of want to see where I want my greeting. So I'm going to put that here like this. And then my greeting is actually going to go right onto this card, like right down here. And I'm going to emboss that, not emboss that. I'm going to use the adhesive sheet in gold. All right, so there we go. Now, I'm leaving that there so that I can see where to place this properly. And then I'm going to move it out of the way once we run this through. I'm trying to read your comments at the same time. You were just trying to break up all of the blues. So great to see all you guys. Welcome. Lots of you have gotten here since we started. So again, I'm peeling this piece off like that. And then I am going to place this right down here at the bottom, like that. So you know what might be fun to use down here instead of gold? Let me show you. I better have it. Yep, I do. How about some brilliant blue? So we'll do the greeting in brilliant blue. We'll mix that with our blue denim cardstock, and then we'll have the candles in gold. Okay, let's do that. All right, so now we have that down there. I'm just giving it a light touch. And then I'm going to put my pieces of cardstock on top just to protect it. Okay. And then I'm going to put my other plate on top. Blue and gold, that seems like really good like graduation colors too. I feel like there's so many schools that's their school colors. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys are liking the blue. Excellent. Okay. Alrighty. So now we're going to peel this off. Put it back down there. And then I'm going to get a small piece of the blue foil. I'm going to go a little bit bigger than the design though, like right about here. There we go. And then I'm going to place that on top and then just gently press it down. Okay. I'm putting my little pieces of cardstock back on top again, and then I'm going to run this through. Don't you love it? No laminator, no hot foil machine, no dyes, nothing. And these are so inexpensive. So you can pick up a couple sets and then just have them for whenever you want to add just a little bit of sparkle. All right, here we go. Hoping for the best. Oh, look at that. Isn't that so pretty? Enjoy your day. I love that. Okay. So again, we could use this on another piece. You can see if I put it up against white, how you can see right through it. Enjoy your day. So we could use that on toner paper or something else later. Not 100% sure if I'm going to use the same greeting on both, but I'm definitely going to use the candles. All right. Now, let me show you a fun little trick that I enjoy. I'm going to get, let's make it difficult too, why don't we? I'm going to get my Swiss Dot embossing folder. This is the new Swiss Dot folder by Gina K Designs. And I'm going to foil, but not the whole thing. So this is called partial embossing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it with the design hanging out of the bottom like that. So this way, when I run this through, it's not going to emboss where I don't want it to emboss. And I don't want to emboss over that foiling. That looks pretty good. I think I might move it over just a little bit. So I have to put it down here. I hope you guys can see that. I'm just straightening it out so it looks even on the top and on the sides. Okay. Then I am going to put this on top. I think I'm going to use my blue plate. I've been using my, well, might as well because it's a blue night, right? I've been using my embossing plate for these embossing folders, the one that comes with the Gemini, not the Gemini, the Spellbinders machine, and I really love it. So I'm going to use it for this as well. Okay, that's this plate right here. And I'm just going to put that on top, and I'm going to run that through the machine. I got to get the plate in there first, though, because it's a tight fit. There we go. Let's get that through. There we go. Sorry. Shot out the other side. Okay. So now you can see that I've got that embossing. Can they see that okay, Tom?
Yes.
But it stops, right? Now I want to finish that edge off. So let me just move this out of the way for a second. All I really wanted to do is add a little bit of texture here. So from the front here, I'm going to add a little line right there. Just add a little line because I can't see from the back where to do that, but now I can turn it over on the other side and I can line that up on one of the score lines. And now I'm going to do it in the opposite direction so that I push that out so it's just like coming out the same way as the dots. Can you guys see that okay? See that little space? Okay. All right. So now I've got that there, and then this can get popped up on here, and it can hang over the edge a little bit. All right. And then we're going to mount that onto black and then onto that blue. So let me, I'm deciding whether or not this blue Yeah, this is the good blue for this. So let's just go ahead and score this at 5.5 inches. My next card is going to be a little different. I won't be embossing or shooting embossing plates across the room. Okay. And then I need 1 black piece of cardstock. So let me put this away and I'll get my paper cutter here. Now again, you could cut these out with the Master Layouts dies if you prefer, but I'm just kind of cutting it. Master Layouts 2 would be the right size for this. And I'm going to freehand it here. Not exactly freehand with a paper cutter, but you guys know what I'm saying. Okay. And now I'm going to adhere this panel onto here. I love this dot. This is definitely a bigger dot than the Swiss dot that I used to have, but it's still pretty delicate. It's just fun too. Yes, blue denim is the color. Okay, there we go. And then we'll put that onto the blue denim. And then we can pop this up with some foam squares. Let me get a couple of those. Actually, I'm going to use foam tape. I'm running out of foam squares. So I'm going to put a couple pieces of foam tape on here. I do have black foam tape too. I probably should have used that, but this will work. I'm shedding, Tom.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, give the partial embossing a try. It's really fun to do. And I'm going to do it in another video. I have some other tricks to show you with the partial embossing. Maybe I won't use that blue plate. So I almost thought that was going to fly across the room and hit Tom. It really shot out. And then we'll just pop that right there. This is an elegant card with lots of glitter. It's not too frilly, so it's great for, you know, if it's a guy card or whatever. So isn't that fun? And no laminator. But listen, you guys can use this with a laminator instead of the die cutting machine. All you have to do is pop the pieces into a piece of the ThermoWeb parchment paper and run it through the laminator the same way that you normally would. So you can use it with the laminator. If you like your laminator, go for it. I just think it's fun to show you that you can use it without a laminator, and you can use it just with your die cutting machine. So that's a very quick and easy foiled card. And this video tonight, this live, isn't really about making really hard, difficult cards. It's just about how to use the adhesive and then how to use the negative. So let's get to that. All right, I'm going to put this one aside. Now for my next card, I am going to use this piece that was left over, and I'm going to use this gold foil that was left over. And then I'm also going to use those same 2 dies, but we're going to do something completely different. So for this card, why don't we make something in pink, shall we? Do you want to make something in pink, or should we stick with the blues? I thought I cut a pink card base, but maybe I didn't. We could also do red. What do you guys want to do? You want to do red? Do red and gold? Red and gold's always fun. We could also do teal and gold. Or we could do tangerine and gold. I've got all kinds. Oh, pink. Okay, everybody's saying pink. Some people are saying purple. Ooh, how about the plum punch that I talked about? Because it's kind of in the pink and purple family. So what if we do that? Because honestly, look at how gorgeous that is with the gold. Let's do that. Let's do plum punch. Thanks for hanging in there with me with my indecisiveness. Okay, so I'm going to cut. How do I want to do this? Let me look and see. Okay, we're not going to make the plum punch the card base, but we are going to do something with the plum punch here. So let's cut this down to a half sheet. Okay.
That foil still heat activates, right?
Oh, it does. Yes, it still heat activates. This is the same Deco-Foil that works with the laminator. And there is a difference between the foils that you use with the hot foil machines, like the Glimmer machines and all of that. You don't want to use that with a laminator or any of this. You want to use the Deco-Foil with this, or the Gina K foil, which is Deco-Foil. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is the first thing I want to do is I want to cut. Let me look over here for a second. I'm going to grab something. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to cut an oval out. So I'm using the single stitched ovals. Okay, what ovals are you using? I'm using the Gina K Designs double stitched and single stitched ovals. Okay, but you can use any ovals you want. You just have to use two that match the way these do. You can't use ovals are tough because you could do this with circles too if you have circles or squares. All right, I'm going to cut this out first on this piece of Plum punch. Okay, and then I'm going to cut the whole thing out. I'll save this for later. I'm going to cut the whole thing out using Master Layouts 2. So I'm going to get both the stitched one and the plain one, and I'm going to cut this panel out. And I'm leaving a little room down here for a greeting. All right. I'm going to use a different greeting for this because I don't think I'm going to have enough room, but we'll see. That looks pretty good. Let's run that through. Okay. Oh, goodness. I tried to come up with a real crafty, sneaky way to do the next part, and I just couldn't get it to work. So I'm going to do it the long way, the hard way. Okay. So there is my Plum punch piece. Cut it out with the oval, and then we've got that. Did Tom zap the troll? Did you zap the troll, Tom?
I think so.
Tom, those trolls, they don't stand much of a chance with Tom. So I'm going to cut a black panel, okay? And I'm using the plain die that matches. And I'm just going to turn this on an angle a little bit. That's going to go on the back. Alrighty. There we go. Okay, so that is going to mount together here, but we're going to do some stuff on the inside. Alrighty. Now I want to do one more thing. I know this looks like a lot of black, but I want to do one more thing. I want to cut another piece of black cardstock. Let me find it. Or we could cut another color, but I think black is going to look really good. I just have to find a piece because I'm completely out of black. I found one. Okay. So I'm going to cut another piece. I'm going to cut this a little bit smaller. Let me just cut this down off to the side here. Just going to cut this one down to like 3 inches by like 4 1/4 inches. I don't need it to be that big. I just need it to be about the size of my double stitched oval. And I'm going to cut that out. Now I know it seems like it'd be easier to cut this out of the center of that black panel, but it's not. I tried it and it's just very hard to nail. So let's make life easy. I know, Catherine, I'm gonna go through withdrawal. It's terrible to be out of black cardstock. Okay, so now this little panel, just clean that up a little bit with my fingernail. Okay. I'm going to move this out of the way for a second, just so that you guys can get a better view. And this is kind of shading my light. Okay. So now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to place this so that I get that little border, but on the inside. See how pretty that is? And this would probably be much more dramatic if I had used something like pink. But can you see that? It really just sets it off so nicely compared to just plain, right? So let's get that in position. And if you have to trim it down on the top or whatever, certainly can do that. But isn't that pretty? I love that. So all you're really doing is using your dies in reverse to create the inside border instead of the outside border. Okay. All right, so to do that, I am going to put a little bit of tape around here. Just around this. I could use glue, but you know. Okay, and now we want to nail this. So I'm going to do my best here. I might have to get my head in the way. And definitely try it like with the difference between like white and black or innocent pink and black, and you'll really see how beautiful that looks. Now you might have to fiddle with it a little bit to get it exactly where you want it. So don't press it down until you know that you like where it is. That's kind of way. Liquid glue works great because that's very forgiving. It's a little bit easier to do this on like squares and rectangles than it is on these ovals and circles, but you can mess with it a little bit and you'll get it. Let's get the bottom first, and then we'll come up toward the top. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay. Just gives us that little edge. Remember, paper crafting is not a race. So if you feel like, oh, you know, it's taking me so long to do that, so what? Where are you going? You're here to have fun. Okay, so there we go. And that gives us that nice little edge. Okay, it's pretty close. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. If I, you know, didn't have to leave in 15 minutes, I would do more fiddling with it. But I'm just gonna, there we go. I gotta play with it. Okay. So now I'm going to get that black piece, and that's going to go here. But before I do that, here's what I want to do. I'm going to cut another little piece just so I have something to mount this all on. It could be any scrap little sickening piece you have laying around. Maybe one of those pieces you smashed through your your die cutting machine. Sickening piece. Any little sickening piece you have, that'll work, okay?
Is there a top and bottom to the ovals?
There really isn't. They're the same at the top and the bottom. The only reason why I flipped the paper around is because the black over this side was sticking out at the top and it was thinner over here. That's the only reason why I flipped it around, but there isn't a top or a bottom. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to place this. Actually, I want to use white. I'm going to use a little white piece of paper because I want white to show, and I'll show you what I mean. Let me just find a piece of white cardstock here. Here's a piece. So I'm just going to cut a little piece here. This just has to be able to be hidden back there. Okay. So now I'm going to just lay this on top, and I want to see, you know, where I should put this. So I'm going to place it right there. Like that. Okay. Don't worry about the side if it's sticking out the side. That's not important. And then I have my Scotch tape. Now I have one of these big Scotch tape runners. Just use any Scotch tape you have. It's not important that it's big or small. Okay. So I'm going to just pull that out. I can move it over a little bit. And I'm just going to tape this little plastic thing down. If you have little die cut paraphernalia, shrapnel going. Just get rid of that.
So Gina,
Yes.
what's a good way to find out what all the master layouts offerings, what they,
Like all the master layouts we have,
Yeah.
you can go to our website and type in master layouts in the search engine, and all the different sets we have will come up. And then you can click on each one and it'll show you the set and it'll tell you all the sizes are listed. Okay, so now we're going to take this foil and we're going to place it on top. And we're just going to find where it lines up. Now you could line it up perfectly if you want, and that would look something like that. Okay. Or you can stagger it just a little bit, and that's what I want to do, like that, so it shows a little bit of the white underneath. I think it gives it some more depth and dimension. Okay. So I've got that there. What I'm going to do now is I have it where I want it. I'm taking another little piece of Scotch tape, and I'm going to tape it to the top. Just fold that over like that. And then I'm going to tape it at the bottom just a little bit. Isn't this so fun? Now you could glue it on there, but it gets ripply when you glue it. You could use the Deco-Foil toner sheets with it, and that's great, but you need a laminator. This is a way just to use those two pieces. You get your black showing through that you would normally get from the toner sheet if you were using it with a laminator. And then this whole thing is going to go right on top, and it's going to cover all of that. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. You could even make that a shaker card if you wanted to. All you'd have to do is put some acetate back here and then seal it up all around with some foam tape, and you could add shaker material in there and it could shake. Yes, I used the plastic. Did somebody say, did I see? I missed that comment. It flew by so fast. Did I see right? You can use the plastic part more than once. You can use the plastic part and you use the adhesive part. So the first one that we made used the adhesive that came off of the plastic. The second one uses the plastic piece itself. I hope that all makes sense. And then we could pop that up if we want. That might be fun to pop it up. Use some foam squares, and then you'd get a little bit of dimension in there. Or we could put it right on there. Because I don't have a lot of foam here tonight, I'm just going to tape it right onto this panel. Okay. But it would make a nice shaker card. And then you could fill it with all kinds of other things that you have, you know, sequins and stuff. And hey, the more glitter, the more glitz, the better. So I don't know why I'm being so like I'm making a shaker card here. I really don't have to go around like that. I just want to make sure I get enough tape to tape everything down. Okay. So here we go. I'm just going to tape it right on there. And, you know, I want to figure out where I want it. If I decided I wanted the candles up higher, I could have done that, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put them right in the center. Okay, there we go. See, I rippled it at the last minute, so we can fix that. We can just untape that. And then I'm just going to lay it flat again. I got that tape in there. There we go. Okay. Flatten that out. There we go. All right. Isn't that fun? Okay. So now I'm going to put this onto this. That rippling was my fault. I was just trying to show you guys what was going on here, and I actually rippled this whole thing. Let's see if I can fix that. I think I can. Let's see if I can. That's a little better. Yeah, that's a little better. I'm going to trim this down on the top here. But what do we always say? Better than horrible. I just love the white showing. Isn't that fun with the white showing? Okay. So now we're going to adhere this whole thing onto the black panel. And then we're going to put it on a white card base because I think that that will accent that little bit of white that we have there. Okay. All right, let me get a white piece of cardstock and we'll cut that out. I'm going to cut this at 4 1/4 inches. Make sure that that's even. And then I will get my score buddy. Now, if you wanted a different color other than white under there, like maybe you wanted some red coming out from behind the flames, you could use a red panel instead of a white panel. I just thought the white is so stark compared to the black that they just look really good together. Isn't that fun? I love that together. Just clean off my edge. All right, and then this whole panel goes onto the white card base, and then we just have to pick a greeting. So I feel like we could do another one of those enjoy your day. Let me see if I have one of those close by. We could cut that out, but I want to do a sparkly one. So, and I don't want it to be blue because it's not going to match. So I'm going to pick a different one here. And I'm going to go right onto there and do it in gold. All right. So let's do that. I could do one of the greetings from one of the other sets. I should look anyway. I do love Made with Love. I think that that's really cute under there, just Made with Love, because it's handmade. That's cute. I completely lost all my other designs. They're around here somewhere. Here they are. Thank you for being a friend. You make everything better. That's a little too encouraging. We don't need to be that encouraging. Oh my goodness. And then I'm going to just go ahead and cut this one off. I love being able to use the negative this way though. Okay, this is going to be a little tight going through the machine. Could have done this beforehand, but I'm going to do it after. We'll take a chance. And I'm going to peel that backing off, and then I'm going to place it exactly where I want it. Remember, you don't want to touch the design. We'll just put that right here. Just pat it down gently. And then we'll get the die cutting machine. So I won't need any extra cardstock in here. If you're worried and you're sending it through the machine and you want to protect the front, you could use just a little piece of copy paper or something like that just to protect it. But I'm going to take a chance here. I'm going to use the curvy side and we're going to run it through. It's tight. Let's try opening it. It's tight. I don't know if I'm going to get it through. I'm getting it through. Here we go. It's going to scream. There we go. Okay. Yeah, do the purple before you actually assemble the card. You got to brush off all that. I got to get a Swiffer. Okay. Peel that off. And then we'll add the gold. I'm going to Swiffer after we add the gold. Yeah, that's a little tight. Maybe only one plate would have been enough. All right, let's get some gold again. Where's my gold? Here it is. Ooh, and I can use some of these little pieces now. Tom, I didn't even ask you for a word of the day. Do you have one today, or?
I did, but I forgot it.
Really?
But I was thinking about words, and there are some words that are just fun to say, right?
Yes.
And it's different for different people. They have their different. Some of my favorite words to say include the word Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein. And sassafras.
Is that a drink?
And sarsaparilla. Those two I like to say.
Are they drinks?
I'm
trying to make this a little thicker without, because it's a thick card. Sassafras? I swear that's like a drink.
It's like a soda flavor.
Yeah. Nah, that's like, I could push this through without. Boy, I never tried the rub-on method. I don't know. I'll just keep doing this until we find the right thickness. Not 100% sure that transferred. Let's fold this in half.
Patty likes Oostburg.
What does she like?
Oostburg.
It sounds like the Norwegian cruise ships. There, I think that'll work. I'm going to stop there. We'll see what happens. Wish me luck. There we go. Enjoy your day. All right, so I got to clean that up with a Swiffer because of my die cutting plates. I go through die cutting plates faster than anybody. I just left all that behind. Oh, and it's smushed. But there you go. There is card 2.
Wow.
And here is card 1. So we got to use both parts of those adhesive sheets. All right. Well, Tom, I think we need to give these cards away. And then I think I'm going to remake them tomorrow so that they're not all squished down. Well, the first one's fine, but the other one, I'm going to remake this one tomorrow. And then I will do this part separately without it being so smushed. But let's give these cards away.
Yes, yes, yes. All right.
All right. So who are we giving the blue and gold card to?
Blue and gold goes to K. Marlowe. K.
Hey, Kay, congratulations. Woohoo! Okay. And then who gets the plum punch card? With all of that sparkle and shine.
How about Linda McKelvey?
All right, Linda, congratulations. Okay, well, hopefully both of you are here. You heard that. All you have to do is send your name and address to info@ginakdesigns.com, and I will get these cards out to you. And just say whether you want the blue card or the plum card. Now, my big goal tonight was to just show you that you can use all of this beautiful foil and these adhesive sheets without a laminator, without any kind of hot foil and no dyes, nothing. It's super easy. These are very inexpensive. They've got lots of choices over at the ThermoWeb website, and we have all of them at Gina K Designs, all of the Gina K ones at Gina K Designs. And then I wanted to show you how fun it is to use those negative pieces together. I'm going to remake this card tomorrow, and then I'm going to take both pictures tomorrow and post them up on the Facebook page and on YouTube, so you'll be able to see them a little bit closer. And then, yeah, so Tom and I will be back on Thursday, is it, Tom? Mm-hmm. Thursday with another Stamp and Chat Live, a Crafternoon Stamp and Chat Live. And then I'll be back over the weekend again with another 5-minute card video. If you didn't see the last 5-minute card video, go watch it. It was really fun. It's super fast, and I think you're going to like it. All right, everybody. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you all so very much, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.